What is up, Star Wars Destiny fans? My name is Symbio and I'm here with T3 Gaming, and we are going to talk about Star Wars Destiny storage solutions, or at least I was going to tell you guys what I use for storage for this game. I've been collecting and playing this game since the very beginning, and I figured I'd share with you the products and methods I use to keep all these dice and cards organized. With the new rotation coming and the new set of convergence coming out, I figured it'd be a good time to take a look at some storage solutions. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is how I store my upgrades and characters. With Star Wars Destiny, you've got upgrades and characters and supports, which generally have a die associated with it. So, you know, here's the Star Wars Destiny die, and then you've got characters. Any character that has this symbols on the side is going to have an associated die. So what I like to do is put my die associated cards in binders and not all of my events. Because there's so many events or non-dice cards in Star Wars Destiny, I found it took too long for me to go back and try to slot them into a binder that I didn't want to do it. And so what I'm using is the binder to store just the dice cards, and the box over there to store just the uncommons, or I guess the common cards that don't have dice associated with them. So anyway, each one of these is this is called a Dex. It's made by the company Dex, D-E-X. This is called their Binder 9 series. And so I've got like the black Awakening stuff in the black binder. And basically it fits 3 sets of dice cards perfectly. There is plenty of room to have extras. So the way I have it organized is I've got my blue, because I'm kind of biased to the blue. I got my blue hero, my yellow, and then my red hero, just because I'm a hero player. And then I've got my blue villain, yellow villain, red villain, and these are all my characters. You can see all my characters are in the beginning. It just makes it easier from team building just to use the characters. And then I get into blue upgrades and supports. So this is blue hero upgrades and supports, neutral upgrades and hero supports. I just kind of separated them so that, because neutral is kind of in the middle and I tend to play more hero, all my neutrals are going to be in there. And then I've got my yellow heroes and supports. And so you can see there's plenty of room for a full kind of, what do they call it? Cycle, the Awakening cycle. You know, so there's plenty of room. You got your villain, your red, and then I put all of my grays in the back. So this way I can kind of quickly go through and find the upgrades that I need without searching through a huge binder with events and so forth. And then I put my battlefields in the back, and then of course you'll see in the new cycle or legacy cycle I use plots. So if we take a look at this, and this is about 25 bucks for one of these. You can probably get them on eBay for a little bit, or Amazon a little bit cheaper. There's the Dex logo. So you've got, again, blue hero, and then I actually mixed in some of the neutrals in here. But I like the way this is organized, and it's enough. I usually sleeve my characters and then put the unsleeved one underneath, because then I can quickly pull them out and play them in the white sleeves. And I use dragon shields. Yeah, so this is the entire legacy cycle, and I have plenty of room. I've got all of my plots, I've got my battlefields, and I like this way. So, and then the next cycle comes out, I'm probably going to get a red binder, even though the red text on the Star Wars Destiny legacy cycle is different than the black text on Convergence. Anyway, so that's the binder, and that's the way I store things. All right, so dice storage is one of the things that most people I have heard kind of complain about. There are quite a few different options. You can get the Felder ones with the padded foam, and then you can get like, you know, the what do they call? You can get them at Michael's. They're kind of like a hobby photo kit, and it's got a handle, and you can carry a bunch of them in there. I think those work pretty well, but for me, I found that these Plano 3700 series, they're $6.99 at like Sportsman's Warehouse, or you can get them online. They got nice solid latches, and they have individual dividers for each one. They work really well for me. So each one of these, you can see, corresponds to a set, and I got it all nicely labeled with one of those label makers. And it pretty much covers the entire set. There's plenty of room for the entire set. I've got my yellow hero, red hero, blue hero, and then yellow villain stuff on this side. I usually use the bottoms for like gray neutrals, or anything that's neutral or gray will kind of go into the bottom. But this fills up an entire set and it keeps it protected and easily, like basically that's an entire set. So, you know, as the game grows, it's not going to get overly cumbersome. And you can see I've got Across the Galaxy, you know, Way of the Force, and Legacies is humongous, and it still fits everything because I have the 2-player set and the starters in there. So it does fit everything, and most everything has been put back. Of course, I don't actually have everything, but I do have most of everything. So that is how I store dice, and let me know what you guys think, if you guys use this method too. But it's also pretty compact. Like you can throw this in a backpack and bring it to like if you're playing a draft and you want to be able to just put them in your box when you're done, you know, you can bring this whole thing and it's not a big deal. So again, $6.99, very cheap way to store things. And then now I'll show you kind of how I store my cards. All right, you guys, this is my card holder box. It is a standard BCD brand comic book store collectible game card box. You can get it for probably like a couple bucks, I'm guessing. I think it was like $2.99, $3. And so this is where I store all of my non-dice cards. I got some X-Wing cards over here too, so it doubles as my Destiny and X-Wing box. And right now I have all this extra space here. You could actually get this in different formats. You can get the single row version, or you can get a double row version. The 4-row version is nice and compact, but it's a little heavy to carry around if you actually wanted to kind of bring your collection somewhere. So I would actually recommend maybe going with a double row collection, and then that can be kind of like your standard cycles. So you got your Awakening cycle here, your Trilogy cycle, your Awakenings cycle here, your Legacy cycle here, and then I am all set up here to go with the next Convergence set here. So, so each of these are the dividers, and you can get them at your comic book store, local game store. They come in packs of 10. This is also BCDW or BCD brand. I think it's like $1.99 for 10 of those cards. And then I just printed the icon off of SW Destiny DB, and then also the name of the set. And I have them divided into hero, neutral, and villain. The reason being is that usually you're going to be playing a hero deck or a villain deck, and even if you're playing different colors, that way you can just kind of grab one of these stacks and look for the cards that you want. So I have them organized into blue, being my bias first, is always up front. If you're like a big red player, of course, you could throw that up front. Just whatever is first is just easiest to me. I have them set up in alphabetical order so that it's easy for me to find a card I'm looking for. So if I build a deck on swdestinydb here.com and I know the set, then I could just quickly go in here and look alphabetically to find the card that I need. So I usually put the grays in the back, so it goes blue, yellow, red, gray, and it kind of matches my Dex binder format. So yeah, and usually, again, for me, like binders are really good for theory crafting because you can kind of like go and see all the cards if you're just sitting around looking at them. But because, you know, most of us are using a phone or a computer, we can use SW Destiny DB to do that. So you can just kind of scroll through the cards there to theory craft. And then once you have your deck built online, then you go to your box and you find the cards you need. And for me, it's just easier. Also, like I said, I play Star Wars Destiny weekly at the local game store, and I am usually building and changing decks every week, putting cards back. Sometimes I don't get to it, and what I'll do is I'll just create stacks based on sets to put them back. So I'll put all of my Spirit of Rebellion cards in one stack, all my Legacies, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'll separate them by color, and then I'll just come in here and slot them back. And it doesn't take that long. When I had a binder, it just took a lot longer, and I had to figure out if I had to, you know, leave blanks available if I wanted to organize it alphabetically or by number. You could still organize this by number if you wanted to. I'm not really sure how the new numbering system works. Maybe it is. No, yeah, it's definitely not by color. So But anyway, these are done, like I said, alphabetically. I've got my blue, a yellow, and then red, and then grays in the back. What else about this? I think that's mostly it. It works really well for me, and it's an economical, fairly compact way to store these things. Binders, you know, if you get different brands and stuff, can be kind of cumbersome. So just having everything in this format works for me. Now, if you're a little worried about scuffing up your cards, then you could like put those clear, thin sleeves on them and then double sleeve them if you really want to get hardcore. But honestly, I don't feel like commons and uncommons are really worth that much. And really, even though I've gone through the Awakenings cards quite a bit, they're not really very dirty. You know, you're really not gonna, they're pretty durable cards. So, and usually your legendaries and really valuable cards are going to be your dice cards, and that's why I put those in the binder. So, all right, so, you know, once you got your deck all built and your dice all together, you know, then you got to put it in a box so you could take it to your local or tournament to play. And there are a lot of different deck boxes out there. I'm just going to show you the one that I use. I am sticking with the Dex brand. I think they're made really well. And I like that their colors kind of correspond to Star Wars Destiny colors too. They have like a yellow for scum and villainy or scoundrels. You've got your blue deck for maybe your blue, you know, heroes. So I don't really have a lot of decks built right now because I'm cleaning up before the Convergence set comes out, but it's got plenty of room to store dice here, you can see. And this could stack really high, and generally this will hold 2 decks with enough room for dice and cards, or 1 deck with enough room for one of these little containers for all your tokens, so you could just carry this all around to your, you know, you could just carry that around to your tournament. But you know, you can see it's really nice. It's got this nice felt in the background. It's all stitched well. They're very durable. You've got an area here for your cards, and then you can also put cards. Cards definitely fit in there too. So let me take a look. I'll show you this one, and you can see I kind of put my blue, my red for my heroes, and it doesn't have to be monocolor. I just like to have different colors so I know when I grab a box it's going to have a certain deck in it, or I know it's going to have a certain deck in it. So here's my X-Wings deck that I just played. It's got plenty of room here if you wanted to put another deck in there. That works. And it's got a little magnet enclosure so it doesn't come out. So these are pretty cool. They're a little cumbersome to put in a backpack just because they're so blocky. But that's fine. I have like a side bag that I use, and that works pretty well. So, and these I think are about, I want to say like 16 bucks or maybe $12.99. They're not that bad, or maybe they're even 10 bucks. I'll have to look. It's been a while since I bought one, so I kind of just bought a bunch at once, and I just cycled through these 4 boxes, you know. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of these boxes. Next up, I'll show you real quick what I use for token storage. All right, you guys, so token storage, you know, obviously Star Wars Destiny, you need to be able to have your tokens all together. And so I got this little box at Sportsman's Warehouse, and they have a bunch of little boxes like this for fishing lures or little hooks and stuff. This one's waterproof, but they have ones that aren't. I think having a compartmentalized box is a little bit easier, but just to find things. But sometimes actually I've also noticed, you know, if your fingers are a little bigger, it's hard to get these out. So, you know, having a bigger open box to throw everything in works too. So these are really cool tokens from Laser Gaming. Got my 1 damage, 3 damage, shields, resources, and then kind of like extra ones over here. And this is plenty of tokens for a game. And I like how it's small enough that it actually fits inside these boxes. So, and you can clip them together and they're not gonna fall out. So anyway, that is it for all the Star Wars Destiny storage that I was gonna share today. I figured hopefully all the new players out there, we welcome you to the game. And if you have some storage solutions, let us know in the comments section below. I'll do my best to try to get to answering any questions you have. And I will also put links to all the products below for where I purchase them, but definitely try to support your local game store. If they have Dex products, definitely go there and get them first. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this was very helpful. All right, see you guys next time.